status update on the Everett Street Pacific Beach garden. As you can see, since the last video, the corn has grown quite a bit. These up here, and this is just popping out. We just noticed this today. We have some corn still. So it is really happening, and I'm pretty excited about that. Over here, this was just a stick, no leaves at all, and there it is. It fought back, and that's going to be a nice bell pepper plant. And all these other little tomatoes are going to be about 4 different kinds of cherry tomatoes. Here we have some naturally growing potatoes from harvest I did 2 years ago, and for some reason they just decided to pop up. I didn't even plant those. 4 or 5 different kinds of peppers. They're struggling a little bit, but boy, they're really popping the last few days. And I'm really excited about that too. Get a bunch of different kinds of peppers. And the beautiful, wonderful strawberries. Ooh, here's some more. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, sweet. I haven't seen those. Of course, these are rocks. They are designed to, we painted these by hand to resemble strawberries, and you put them in your garden before the strawberries come in. That way, apparently, as they say, the birds will think those are strawberries. They'll come up to see they're rocks, and then they'll leave them alone. So when the real strawberries come in, they won't bother. I think birds are a little smarter than that, but hey, you know what? It's fun. It's a garden. Whatever. Of course, back over here, we've got way more peppers, all different kinds. We've got Malagueta from Brazil. We've got actually 3 different kinds of peppers from Brazil. And I'm not sure which is which, but we'll find out in the next few weeks. And again, another first. I'm just noticing these are starting to flower. So that's new. All of our beets. First time I've ever grown beets. I know y'all in Australia are growing some beetroot as well. This is my first time. 4 different kinds of beets. And you know, they're growing. They're here. Of course, the main actors, the Danvers, Massachusetts carrots. We've got a whole row all the way across here. This was a pepper plant from underneath my avocado tree. I think that's a yellow pepper plant, Capsaicin Chinese, something like that. And of course, we've got a rescue, put that in yesterday. It's supposed to be rosemary. We'll find out if it can actually come back. My favorite probably is the African blue basil. I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of basil, but the bees, I've noticed, African blue basil is just, I don't think it can be beat for flavor, smell, and the bees absolutely love it. In the back, we have 2 coffee plants. There's the tall one, there's a shorter one. So we'll see how those grow in San Diego. These are more wild growing potatoes. These are new potatoes. Too much mint. Careful with the mint. It takes over everything. Christmas cactus is flowering in the back over here. She named that one Bonnie. I don't know where that comes from, but that's the plant's name. Wild growing cilantro. I found it in a crack in the sidewalk. I pulled it out. It was a tiny little thing. And then look at that. Boy, big old thing of cilantro is popping out. And then, of course, the main event is tomatoes. Tons and tons of flowers. This plant is about 2 years old. It is still producing. And we are just really excited about this. This is going to turn into all kinds of salsa and sauces and just everywhere. Look at all these, just awesome. A little trick, because tomatoes are self-pollinating, meaning that in each flower, the reason that they face downward like that, is because the pollen is actually in the top part right here. And when the bees or whatever comes and disturbs it, it knocks that pollen down into the female part. And if that happens, then you get a tomato. That's called setting the tomato. I was using a toothbrush, electric toothbrush for a while, and that seemed to work pretty good. But I came up with maybe a better idea and a little more simple. And you just, if you have tomatoes in cages, give them a little knock, and you see it shakes all the flowers. And I think this is actually working really, really well in the last week or so since I've been doing this, because we just see a ton of tomatoes growing. So there it is. And, we've got some wild nightshade back there. It's poisonous, but it's super pretty. This is the fallow area, so everything I pull off of any of the plants of dead matter, I throw onto this section, and I'm going to let that decompose into the soil. And when I do my next garden, I will do it over here. I'll mix all that into the soil. It'll be fertilizer, basically, for the little critters that are going to be running around there, and then add some more new soil on top, sift it out, put a little elbow grease in it, and bless you. Salud. And I think that's it. So, hello to all y'all in Australia and Brazil and Greece and all around the world. Massachusetts.